Well, hello, my beautiful Aquarians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam. Okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Aquarians, this is a little bonus reading all about you. Us tarot readers, we tend to focus on career, money, love, but we never ask how are you doing. So this reading is going to tap into what you're going through at this time, how you're moving through this time period, and what lies on the other side for you there as well. Also, I have a competition open for one lucky subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on because some people are here just for the reading and I don't like to waste anyone's time. So let's get straight to it. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aquarians? What do they need to know regarding their current circumstances? How are they feeling about what they're going through? Can you please guide them for their highest good? How are they moving through this time period and what lies on the other side? Can you please show them the way? Well, the first card there is the Queen of Pentacles. We also have the Hermit energy there as well. So I feel a lot of you, of course, are focused on showing up for yourself in life, backing yourself, focusing on your money or your career, also making your home your sanctuary. And, you know, you work really hard to make life work because the Queen of Pentacles is someone who is super resourceful. And a lot of you may also be, searching for new wisdom or a new way of doing something right now. A lot of soul searching with that Hermit energy. We even have the ancestor spirit there. You're an old soul, and I feel a lot of you, we got the Tower. Now, you know what? I didn't write it down, so I don't like to influence readings, but before I came to your reading, I just saw a massive tower, okay? And this is actually something that I felt was really positive for you. I will pull some cards just to clarify, but I was given the tower for you before I came to the reading, and I was like, oh, is this for me? Is this for my beautiful Aquarians? What's going on there? So I don't like to influence the reading, but what I was given with that energy, because I do a little 10-minute meditation before I start your reading, it was basically you breaking out of a cycle, feeling like you need to stand alone on something, maybe challenge something. Something's been playing out in your life for too long and you're fed up and you've had enough. So I definitely see here that you are a tower of power, but you're also having a major wake-up call or an epiphany in order to break a cycle or free yourself from something right now. This could be, a family lineage kind of cycle that perhaps you're breaking. It could also be maybe you are breaking out of a comfortable position in life. I mean, we're all striving to be able to just pay the bills, look after our family, just do life and have a peaceful, non-dramatic kind of lifestyle where we just want to do us and prioritize our own needs. But it can feel like the world is a bit of a tower right now, that things feel very uncertain and highly pressurized, and you're trying to make your way through all of these changes and challenges, and it's that you're fed up of always being in fight or flight mode, and you're trying to find stability in an ever-changing world, because the Queen of Pentacles there is a very stable card, so it can indicate you're trying to ground yourself right now in relationships, in friendships, in experiences, your job, or even if you're retired, it can be that you're keeping an eye on the world and the volatility of what's going on right now, and you're really kind of soul searching for your place in a world that feels like it's changed. It feels like everything has changed on a dime, and that tower can be like old structures are changing and new structures are being built, but it could also be something that you are doing in your own life because you're feeling restless. We can reach a level of comfort in our life that we strive for. And we feel this is, of course, what society says we should do, okay? You know, right from the very beginning, there is a structure in place where we are told that, you know, we grow up, we get education, we enter the working environment, we pay our bills, we settle down with a family or someone that we love, and, you know, then we enter retirement and we have a good old jolly time. That's the structure. And it can be that you are looking at these structures and thinking, okay, I've got to a certain position in the structure right now. Maybe you are the person who's built a wonderful home life for yourself, and you're like, okay, I'm really grateful, because your first card there is the Queen of Pentacles, which is gratitude for all the earthly things that you have accomplished, but also this sense of trying to keep and maintain, sustain stability there. But it can indicate there's something more to life than just this, okay? Because the Hermit is there, this is you soul searching or seeking something else, this missing ingredient. So it can be that, you know, you are really grateful where you are right now and all that you have strived to accomplish, because remember, you did this. You are the one who has been successful, hit lots of milestones, and it can be that you are someone who basically has got to that level and you're like, what's next? What else? So I really feel that you are trying to be more spontaneous. You're doing some manifestation. And also I see a lot of you deepening your connection to your higher self. A lot of like downloads coming here. You're going to feel people from, you know, your family lineage in spirit walking behind you as you kind of challenge a structure, or you basically transform your life in a way where you have more confidence, where you are like having a glow up here. So for some of you, it could literally be that you're looking at relationships at this time, but you're feeling the blessing of the ancestors. Or it could be that round about this time, you're also kind of remembering a person and, you know, celebrating their presence in your life, especially if they are no longer sitting at your table anymore. And I mean people who have transitioned and are in spirit, because you have the ancestor spirit. There is more than one, I'm being given, more than one spirit that walks by your side. You're protected and directed. So if you are someone who's going through a bit of a tower moment in your life right now, and this is on a personal level because it has shown up in your protagonist energy, it's like you're calling in the troops from behind the scenes. All of your ancestors are suddenly at your side saying, we got you. Okay, so if you are going through a challenging time, I feel there's a lot of love surrounding you right now. Some of you with that tower, you could feel alone or isolated in your circumstances, but I feel your family lineage, the strength of all those who've walked before, are walking by your side. And you're literally walking down the sidewalk with an army of spirit behind you saying, we got you. They're helping you navigate towards better times, okay? So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to move away from that energy, but I'm sending you a huge hug out there. If you're experiencing some sort of shock or some sort of tower moment in your life, because the tower can, of course, represent a shock or a surprise. It doesn't always have to be negative, okay? So it can be that, you know, we've got two people here. Some of you may have just met someone and it's love at first sight, and you're wondering, is this going to be a high-level commitment? Well, you've been guided to this person, and we've got the outcome energy as the Lover's card. Okay, so this can indicate you've met your soulmate and that the ancestors approve, okay? But there is like a Queen of Wands energy here as well. So it's two queens and a King of Cups there. So for some of you, not all of you, it could be that you've experienced some sort of setback in a relationship, maybe even someone meddling in a relationship, because there's three people here. It doesn't mean that someone cheated. It can mean that, you know, perhaps someone gave you a piece of information that shocked you about your relationship or made you have an epiphany about relationships. And this could be a positive thing. It could be something that helps reignite the spark in your relationship, for example. So it doesn't have to be negative. So please apply it to your situation. But if you are going through a separation, or you basically are like leaving a relationship or have had to separate from a person that you thought was forever, for keeps there, again, I'm sending you a huge hug out there. I feel like for some of you, I feel actually a majority of you, if you're going through a separation, your spirit guides and your ancestors stepped in to this relationship to kind of like separate, because I feel it was not very good for you in some way, and they're guiding you towards someone who is more in alignment with what you truly deserve in life and love, okay? So that's a very complex thing that's coming out there, but I do feel that if you're leaving something right now, or you're like separating from somebody, I feel the universe and your ancestors have like a guiding compass to draw you towards someone who is right for you in a relationship, as opposed to all the love that perhaps you've given to the person who taught you lessons. Wasn't necessarily the wrong person, but you know, you'll see how love is different with this new person that's coming in. So a lot of you could be navigating a soul searching period where you're separating or going through a divorce, for example, and you know, with the Chariot card, you've been feeling a little bit stuck, but the universe and your guides are going to make it so apparent that they're guiding you towards a new person that offers you a loving source, unconditional love. And I feel for some of you, not all of you, I'm being given this energy, and because we have the ancestors present, I mean, some of you may have to make some decisions in a relationship. I mean, it could be that you're with your partner, you're in a strong relationship there, and, you know, perhaps there's been some sort of shock. Now, this could be that either your partner lost their job, for example, or there's a redundancy there, or it could be that perhaps, you know, your partner, there is some sort of surprise news that comes in, and both of you have to like act as a team, be stronger than ever in order to face this. And I feel with the Lovers card, it's like you come out on top and you overcome a struggle, but some decisions need to be made. So it could be, for example, that you or your partner get a new job, right? And it means traveling, because you have the Chariot card here. So whilst it is successful, it means relocation. It means some sort of upheaval. So the Tower can be like an upheaval because you've heard some sort of news that can actually be very positive, because your outcome cards are super positive. So whatever it is that has shocked or changed direction, or there's a course correction here in some way, this doesn't have to be you and a partner. So if you're single, it could be like some sort of family news, or it could be some sort of opportunity that comes your way and you're having a discussion with the people that you love, but you ultimately have to make a decision that benefits you, and it puts a spring in your step. It feels like it's a really positive outcome there with that Queen of Wands, because this reading is all about you, and already I'm getting energy of things outside of yourself. So it can be that right now you're preoccupied with other things. You've got a lot on your plate right now. You're restructuring your life in some way. And it can be that, you know, I'm getting something really strange coming through there. Thanks so much, I'm so grateful, but I will mention it in a moment. But it's like aspects of self, tapping into like, you know, that earthy, grounded side of yourself with that Queen of Pentacles. You know, you're doing the hard work in life to make something work. And of course, you've got the King of Cups, which means you're keeping the visions of your dreams alive. You're very intuitive. You're protecting your dreams. You're going after them. And that Tower is like, you're going to restructure your life and basically take accountability for your time, and you are busy doing. You're not talking about something anymore, you're just doing it. So this can indicate, you know, that you are transforming your life by breaking down a cycle of repeat in order to do something maverick and different, to be more spontaneous, to actually get out there, travel more. Some of you may shock your family, for example, by saying, I want to be more nomadic. I want to do a job that means I'm on the go, or, you know, I want to take a sabbatical from work, or it could be that you're like, I want to retire early. So whatever it is, I feel like you're breaking a structure, or you're doing something different that may shock a lot of people. I mean, the Tower tends to mean in the protagonist energy that you're doing something that changes everything, and it may shock some people. But ultimately, I feel this is a chance for you to be free, okay? Because these cards are very freeing. So it can be that you reignite, you know, a spark in a relationship with someone that you really care about, but it can also be that suddenly you discover a side of yourself where you are tapping into your power and manifesting at a really high degree, because the Lovers card, grassroots, it is an attraction card. It means the thing that you want in your heart is the thing that you're attracting, because you're, you know, moving into higher frequencies. The Tower is a higher frequency card. The lightning bolt hits the crown chakra, so it can indicate that you know it's time to do something, to action something, or, you know, to basically take a leap of faith on something, because the Tower, two figures actually leap into the unknown, because it's better to, you know, take a leap of faith and do something bold and daring rather than stay where you are, going round and round in circles and feeling a bit stuck. So some of you, because the Chariot card is in the resistance position, you've been doing some soul searching because, you know, the usual structures or parameters, they're just not feeling fulfilling right now, and you're looking for the alternative. So it can be that, you know, you have a goal that you want to reach, but you're just feeling really exhausted or unmotivated because you know that there is an easier way, or there's something else that you're called to do right now. Now, the thing that I banked that my guides have given me, very interesting, of course, very unique, so it's definitely not going to resonate with everyone. This part may not, as I said, resonate with everyone. Doesn't mean the rest of the reading is not for you, but I just got this image of a couple who are together and they're doing some like DIY in a new home, and they come across the previous owners, I'm just seeing like stuff on the wall. So if you're like taking wallpaper off, it could be that, a previous couple have like signed some sort of love poem on the wall, or there's some sort of documents and love letters and things like that about a couple who are so in love and they were through a lot. And it's like, it feels very much like the spirit of this generation is still present in the house, not in a weird spooky way, but in a way where they're like giving a blessing that a loving couple is now entering into their previous home, loving home. It feels like the previous couple that is somehow present in spirit in this house. It's like they're blessing the fact that you and your partner are now in this home and are kind of like redecorating, but also discovering the legacy and the memory of them in their home. So random, I know, but it must speak to someone out there because it wouldn't come up if it doesn't. So I'll leave it like that and move away. But it's almost like you're being given the blessing to move into this property. And it could also be that this couple was well known, for example, or, they were known for being passionate and loving and, like old school romance, legendary romance. And it's like the positive vibes in this home are being passed on to you and your partner. So with a lot of respect, I'm going to move away from that energy because it's very precise, okay? Let's bring this reading back to you and your energy, because it is supposed to be all about you, because I feel a lot of you, you're trying to break a cycle of always giving so much of yourself, because this card indicates that you're a really good friend, you're someone who's always there for people, you have a healing influence on people, and it can indicate that you love giving a part of yourself to others to help them out, or, to show them how much you love them and protect them and care for them. But sometimes you have to remember you, okay? So I feel a lot of you with that Tower energy, the Queen of Pentacles can be that there is a restructure in all of the investment that you give to people. You're still going to help people, you're still going to be there for them, but also you're retaining some of that energy for you. Now, of course, with that Queen of Pentacles, this is like knowledge. A thirst for knowledge, especially when it's partnered with the Hermit. So some of you could discover something about a person that you really care about, that you love. This can be someone in the family unit, because this card is often connected to the home place, to the family lineage as well. And this is something that perhaps for some of you may even influence like inheritance, okay? So if you're going through grief or a bereavement at this time, again, I'm sending you a huge hug out there, because the Ten of Pentacles, it can be about financial legacies or, inheritance there. And because we have the Chariot card, it can be, because it's in the resistance position, perhaps there's a question over inheritance regarding who should get what. And, people sometimes, unfortunately, show their true colors when money and things like that are involved. And, I don't understand it, but it makes people do strange things, okay? So it could be that you're going through some sort of discrepancy in an inheritance based on a very messy secret that perhaps is unveiled. And if that's you, I see that this person, they made their choices, and I feel that this person, what I'm getting is, for some of you, and it may not resonate with all of you, I'm just getting an energy of like a mistress or a secret partner, and this may have made things messy, okay? So that's coming up. Again, it may not resonate with all of you, but I have to honor what I can see and apply it to the energy that I'm getting. But I do see that, it will be fair. The outcome will be fair. So I do see things kind of like not quite split down the middle, but I do see things being honored in accordance with the person's wishes. So, whatever that means, again, please don't shoot the messenger, but that's what I see. And with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to move away from that energy as well, because it keeps being like outside of the energy of the self. So let's bring it back. I'm going to address the majority energy of what I see and what I feel and what I can hear right now. Queen of Pentacles indicates you're focused on your home, okay? You're focused on creating a sanctuary. You're someone who is focused on multiplying your wealth at this time. You may be even trying to preempt or be very intuitive regarding financial, economic volatility right now. You may be preempting like a market crash, for example, or you may feel that old structures are breaking down in the world and you're trying to remain stable in a world where we see that products and services and goods are increasing, but we are trying to play catch up with being able to afford these items because money feels a little bit tight right now is what I'm being given in this reading, because that 10 of Pentacles is in the resistance position. So it can indicate that you're being really clever with your resources and it's on your mind, because although it's outside of yourself, it's something that you need to feel secure. Money does not give us happiness, of course. Material things do not make us happy at all, but that sense of security is the thing that can allow us to have a little bit more time to feel inspired and get out there and experience. Because I feel a lot of you here, it's like you're working really hard, but now you want to be a bit more spontaneous and have more experiences, okay? And I feel with the Tower, this can indicate that right now you're under a lot of pressure, okay? And things have got to a certain level where you're at capacity. So you may be feeling a little bit stressed. The Tower can be a combustible energy where it's like you've had enough. And because there's two people here, it could be that sometimes, and this is not an excuse, and I really don't like this sentence that's coming out from my guides, but I do acknowledge it to be true sometimes, which is sometimes, we get a little bit cranky at the people that we really love. And we take things out on the person that we care about or who really knows the real us. We don't mean to, but when we get a little bit critical or cranky or a little bit stressed, sometimes we lash out. And I feel some of you are just noticing, when you're under pressure, who is it that you may get a little bit snappy at? And I feel like you're trying to come out of that cycle of repeat. Equally, it could be someone you're dealing with right now who, when they're under pressure, they tend to snap at you. And whilst you do realize that this person, they really care about you, there's a lot of love here, whether it's a friend or, a partner or a family member, I feel like you're kind of fed up with it and saying, something's got to give, because I've put up with this for a long time and I'm just like transforming right now and I'm just not putting up with it. I feel it's like calling things into account. That's what the Tower is all about. It's the wake-up call. So some of you, it's like you're going through an epiphany, you're moving into higher frequencies, which means you have different downloads and lessons to learn. And out of that, you are restructuring your life accordingly. Healthier boundaries, drawing lines in the sand and saying, enough, I can't do this anymore. But also I feel, there is this energy of you trying to find more reciprocity in your life, because you may feel that the world right now is highly pressurized and wants more and more and more and more of you without giving back. And you may feel that certain friendships or situations right now have evolved or changed in some way. And you may also be noticing that society has kind of like lost its soul in some way. But there is a great awakening here, which means sometimes when we are lost, it is here that we find ourselves. So I feel there is like a great awakening for all of us, of course, and this reading, I'm surprised it's going to this, but because you, my beautiful Aquarians, you tend to represent, in terms of energy, like society, okay, and humanity. You're a great humanitarian, you really care, and you set about making changes in your part of the world so that, you can see things transforming in the way that you would like them to be. You're the sort of person that, you realize that things don't get better by chance, they get better by change. So you set changes in motion. You're actually a very powerful person. And I feel right now you are making some changes in your life, because if you don't, you realize that things will remain the same. And I feel like it's very important to recognize that things only change when we get fed up with either other people's BS or our own. And I feel like you're calling things out across the board right now. So I feel that there is this energy of like soul searching for something more right now. And the King of Cups also indicates that you are listening to your heart. You're someone who is a visionary, okay? This is a card where it's very important that people realize that King of Cups, of course, it can be that, you've reached a certain level in your life and you're comfortable where you're at, but there has to be something more. What's the next level, okay? But also it can be that, scrying is, a body of water. So the King of Cups is a visionary. So this is like, what do you see for your future? And the Tower is like, you see change, or you see some sort of revamp or rebirth in your energy. The Tower can literally mean that for some of you, you're driving out the old in order to feel more secure in your circumstances. You're bringing your worries into perspective, and you're like not allowing chaos into your life anymore. It can also be that a sudden truth has come out that you are trying to kind of recalibrate your life from right now, and you're moving away from it. You may have removed yourself from this person ultimately for a short period of time in order to focus on you and really connect to your higher self and build a life that's more exciting and more adventurous and full of like fun things to do, because you're moving away from a person and you're stating in your actions that, you know what, I cared for you and I gave you a lot of my time, love, and attention, and you broke my trust. And it's like you're moving away from this situation in order to, meet new people or build new soul tribe members, because this could be a friendship as well. I see a lot of you here kind of looking at life like you want to make different choices, okay? And with the Hermit there, and this is in the resistance position at first, it means you don't want to repeat a cycle. Something is so done. I mean, for some of you, it could be that there's changes in your working environment, maybe changes in management. Perhaps people are, talking about redundancies, or, you're seeing a restructure in the working environment where you feel there's less money available for people or for projects, and you're just a little bit anxious about it. And perhaps some of you are like, what am I going to do about this? So it could be that you're starting up your own business, becoming an entrepreneur, or doing something that's online in the ether, because you have so many kind of like otherworldly cards. These are connected to the ether cards. So it can be that you're doing things that's connected to online businesses or, the internet in some way, so that you can secure your financial future. These could be things that you're just thinking about right now, but I really feel you have like a hunch or a calling to do something, and you're restructuring your life in some way to do it, whatever it is, okay? It's going to be different for everybody, but the Hermit energy indicates some of you are kind of like trying to go off grid a little bit in order to move away from distractions so that you can focus on your sense of purpose, on your sense of direction right now, because the Hermit is the thinker. It's also new knowledge. It's an epiphany, a realization, and it's a reflective, calm period in your life. So you're moving away from drama, okay? For some of you, this could be a couple that you know who has been going through some stuff, and there's a lot of drama there, and you're like removing yourself, saying, I don't want to get involved. I love you guys, but I'm not picking sides. So it can be that, you can still be, friends with these people, but if they're separating, for example, you don't want to get stuck in the middle of this, whatever this is. The Chariot card, again, these are all things outside of yourself, but the Chariot card, bringing it back to you in the resistance position, it can indicate that some of you have a goal, but you feel a little bit lost with the direction in it, or you feel like you need to seek more meaning in what it is that you do. Sometimes, especially in the last couple of years, things have changed across the board in every walk of life, and it can be things that you used to love doing just don't hit in the same way anymore, and you're feeling a little bit bereft or lost, because it's like these are things that were connected to you in such a deep level that you're like, well, how is it I can do it now and it just doesn't feel the same? Something feels off. So some of you are going soul searching for something else, and that Chariot card is a card of like feeling more inspired, especially when it goes into the upright, which it will. So I mean, these two cards, if it's outside of yourself, this could be that you're going solo and you're very ambitious and you're launching something that is going to bring in dual kind of income, right? So it can be that you have second streams of income, for example, in order to multiply your wealth, because your first card there is the Queen of Pentacles, which is how do I secure me and my family's future? How do I do what I love? Am I doing what I love? If not, that Tower energy is like all change, okay? So it can be that you're giving yourself a major plot twist in your life right now. And the Chariot card indicates you're ready for this. Sometimes we need to take a pause and reflect before we take action. And I really feel this is something that you are doing right now. You're calculating something. Some of you are searching for inspiration or that missing spark, that sparkle within yourself. Because the Hermit After the Tower, you know, it can indicate that you're world weary. You're tired. You're tired of people's BS. You're tired of the excuses that people give. You're tired of the way things are. Something needs to change. And that's why I feel like you are taking the ownership back in order to be that beacon of change in your life. And you're going to be very successful about whatever change it is. I mean, it looks like a compass there in the background, and the Chariot card is always like a directional change. So it can indicate that right now you're paying close attention to your inner compass, which is your gut instinct. And the Ten of Pentacles there, it's in the resistance position. So it can indicate some of you, this is like not what your family expects. Or it can be that you're doing something different. You're investing in something else now. It can be that you've got to a certain level in your life where, you know, you feel comfortable and accomplished, but now you need to elevate. You need to step up. The frequencies are changing for you to elevate. So it can be that maybe you've been in a job for a long time and you've got to a really great position, nice money, you're feeling comfortable, but you're like, okay, I need a little bit more challenge. I want to branch out. I want to try something new. I want to do something bold and daring. For some of you, it could be that you've been living in a neighborhood for a long time, and perhaps you're either, because I'm being given two energies here, it's like either you're moving to be closer to family, and it could be that you're uprooting your life literally, or for some of you, it could be that you're uprooting away from family. And either way, looking at the Lover's card, I feel this is more that you're close to people that you love, okay? And it just changes your energy, and it could be that you're meeting soul tribe members, for example. If you're feeling isolated or alone, it could be that you're like trying new things, trying new hobbies, or going to a new neighborhood where you actually build a strong friendship circle. For some of you, it could be like an industry that you work in and you feel unappreciated and you feel that your talents go unnoticed. So you're taking yourself elsewhere for more money and an opportunity to kind of like collaborate with people who really get you, who inspire you, and that you can really bond with, okay? I mean, because there are two energies here, and then as the outcome, there is one energy as in a person, and it's a queen because we've got queens here. I would say some of you may be leaving something that you feel has run its course, or I mean, this could be aspects of self, as I mentioned. It could be that you feel the time of reflecting on something, analyzing it, structuring it, plotting and planning it. It's over. It's time for action now. And now you're fully like following your passions. You've got some options coming in here for you, and you just feel like you're on the right course. You're following your true north and your sense of purpose. But that Ten of Pentacles, it can indicate, especially since it's in the resistance position at first, there's some sort of conflict in the family or in your soul tribe, okay? But it will be rectified. You will come together, and I feel like you remember what it is that brings you together. So for some of you, it could be someone who's in spirit. It's like a little reminder from someone in spirit that, you know what, unity is important, togetherness is important, especially since we are living in a world right now where there's a lot of chaos, and, you know, there's a lot of like trying to separate people or keep people apart, for example. It can be that you know that it's stronger together right now. So it could be that you're trying to build foundations of trust within a family unit or a soul tribe kind of base there, but accountability must be taken, especially if there is conflict, because I do see here that there is some sort of either intermediary or a person who is very wise in your circumstances or in your family or soul tribe who gives a piece of information or has a conversation that lets everyone know, look, okay, enough is enough. This is what's happening from your point of view. This is what's happening from your point of view. Can you work together? This doesn't have to be just in a family unit or a soul tribe unit. It can be like a mediator in the working environment, or even like in neighbors, because I'm just getting this energy of like someone being a leveling force of wisdom. And this could also be you, that you feel like you're stuck in the middle of something and you're having to say, look, I get it. This is what you're going through. I get it. This is what you're going through. But can you work together? Because, you know, apart is worse. So that's what I'm feeling there, okay? Now that Ten of Pentacles, this can indicate that you are manifesting more wealth, but also a lot of you are soul searching about your direction and your sense of legacy, okay? You know, you're thinking about your reputation, you're thinking about what you stand for, and you're thinking about, you know, what draws your attention or where you feel like you belong right now. To have the Chariot card, it indicates dedication and commitment. And a lot of you, you know, you're very committed to your family and to your friends and your soul tribe. You have a lot of responsibility, but also the Hermit energy indicates the balance is where you can actually find time alone as well to find inspiration or to really think about how you are doing and what you need. What are your needs in life? Because if you're constantly giving out, then of course that can indicate you will deplete your resources. And a lot of you with that Hermit in the resistance position, it's like you feel exhausted. It can be that sometimes you're feeling completely energized and up and ready, and then the next day you have a crashing low. So for some of you, because we have such fluctuating cards here, it could be that your hormones are like fluctuating right now. Or, you know, it could be that you are going to an advisor who's going to help you with something that perhaps is prevalent in your family. Maybe it's something that perhaps your family or one of your family members experienced at a certain age, and it can be that now it's affecting you and you go to see a practitioner who can give you wisdom and guidance, and it makes you feel on top of the world. Suddenly you get a hold of it, a measure of it, you can control it, and then it starts you thinking about your family member who had to perhaps go through whatever it is you're going through right now, and maybe they didn't have the resources or they didn't have the guidance that we have today, especially in modern medicine, for example, and you're like, how did they do it? How did they do it? So it kind of like makes you respect them even more, how strong they are and how strong they were. But also I'm getting this energy that a lot of you are thinking about your family lineage, because this is all about legacy and having the ancestor spirit. Some of you may feel called to learn more about your family tree at this time, to learn more about the ins and outs of people, their choices, their decisions, and the experiences they had, and, you know, the circumstances that they had to work with. Because sometimes we make decisions that other people don't agree with, but they don't really know the choices we had to work with, or, you know, the situation that we were in. So they cannot judge because they just don't know. We have to acknowledge that certain people made certain decisions in their life, but we cannot judge them because unless we've walked in their shoes, we can never really understand what was going on there. But we can look at what they do, and whether we agree with it or not, we can choose ourselves whether we want to repeat a cycle or not. And I feel a lot of you, this is like the cycle ends here. So if there is some sort of like family structure, cycle of repeat, I feel like you're breaking it right now. And I feel like you're honoring the fact that a person made a decision based with the circumstances that they had. But I feel it doesn't really change your love for them. But I do feel that it is like you saying, I'm not going to follow that path. I'm not going to do this, whatever this is. Okay, that's something that's coming out there. Now, of course, a big part of becoming an adult is actually unlearning or reprogramming any behaviors that perhaps potentially could be toxic, of course, because the Tower, it comes after the Devil card, and it highlights that perhaps you right now are looking at temptations. For example, some of you could have promised yourself to cut something out this year, especially New Year's resolutions. And it can be that you've got to a certain level because, you know, we're coming to the end of February now, and it's like you're maintaining and sustaining, but there could also be temptation to fall back into a cycle of repeat. And you're like, no, I got to catch myself and say no. You are doing some sort of rebuilding in your life right now. And it can be that although you realize that some of these behaviors were taught to you or that you have had kind of like playing out in your family lineage, you're realizing that you can be that tower of power that says, I'm not going to complete the cycle. And you're not judging people based on their behaviors because maybe they were unhealed and they were not even aware of some of their toxic patterns, but at the same time, they were an adult and they made their decisions. So it's a complex kind of thing that I've got coming out here for you. It's like you've got the wisdom of who you are right now and knowing how hard life is and the choices that we're faced with sometimes. But at the same time, I feel like you realize that you are taking accountability for your actions and you're not allowing yourself to be tempted by a cycle of repeat right now. And I feel like you're just owning your time, your energy, and your choices. Now, we do have ancestor spirit. So I do feel that For some of you, this is about an ancestor who is really proud of you and is encouraging you to be wild and free and go out there and live your passions, because I feel perhaps they couldn't based on their circumstances. So that's why I've got this like energy coming through of like, you have so much at your fingertips right now that they never had. And it's like you're choosing a life to be more spontaneous, more free, and speak your truth and be your authentic self. And perhaps they couldn't. So it's like they're really proud of who you are and how you're running your life right now. And this tower, I feel more, is about you kind of like revamping your life or restructuring your life, or like in a period of transition in order to live your best life, you know? So it could be, for example, some of you could be in a position where it's expected of you to be married at a certain period in life. And you're like, well, that's not how I'm feeling right now. You know, when I find love, I'll settle down, but I'm not going to just get into a relationship because my family lineage says by this time I should be in a high level commitment right now. It's like, you're just not doing it, okay? And I'm also getting this energy. That tower is giving me something else. It's like some of you have been under a lot of stress and you notice that your cortisol levels are really high right now. So I feel like you are kind of like withdrawing from things that are chaotic, that make you feel like overwhelmed. And you're honoring your body more. It's like you're listening to your body more. And again, I feel it's almost like you're going back to ancestral spirit lineage lines in that respect, where it's like you realize you don't have to be a human doing all the time. You're here to have an experience. And now you're like stepping more into like being a human being, as it were. Okay. So it's like you're slowing down the pace a little bit to honor your time and have more experiences. Okay, I'm just picking up on a person here who is like, you know, material things, they're nice, but it's not experiences. It's like you want experience. You want to get out there and see what the world has to offer. I mean, the Lover's card can also indicate, of course, at a very basic level that, you know, if you're looking for love, you're going to have a high level commitment. If you're currently kind of like seeing somebody and you're wondering, is it going to turn into a high level commitment? The answer is yes. Okay. And that this person, it's like there's a newfound confidence with this person. This person really makes you happy. And you, you know, even if you're searching for love right now, I feel like you will have options. Okay. And I feel there is a person who has almost like been given the blessing from an ancestor to come into your life and love you hard, and vice versa. So if you're feeling a bit lonely right now, because the tower can be a little bit of isolation or loneliness, I do feel that number one, you're finding your soul tribe, but number two, you will also find love. So I feel this sense of being isolated or bereft or a little bit lost right now, or just a little bit miffed at how life is going. You're like, well, I never imagined things would be like this right now. And it's like things will get infinitely better. And I see a lot of joy and friendship and revelry, having fun. You know, the Queen of Wands is about living your best life. It's about having a glow up. So some of you, it could be that you're cutting something out of your life right now, or you have, where suddenly you're going to see the benefits of it. So whether it's like you deciding not to eat sugar, for example, I'm just giving an example. Suddenly you're going to see the benefits. You have more energy that is sustainable. You know, you can see it on your face. You can see that, you know, you have a lot more vitality, and you just feel better for it. You may even look better for it. For some of you, it could also be that you're moving away from a relationship that, you know, tends to be supportive a lot of the time, but sometimes there's some backhanded compliments, or there's some toxic structures going on, and you're like, actually, I'm noticing this and I'm not putting up with it anymore, and I'm standing in my independence and I'm freeing myself up from this. And it's like, you can let go with love. You can distance yourself and still be there for a person sometimes, but not all the time, and not let them affect your energy, is what I'm seeing. You know, the Lover's card is a card of choice, okay? So it can indicate that you're making decisions right now based on all the knowledge that you have, and you're attracting opportunities you're absolutely going to love, and you've got a lot of support in spirit with regards to these choices, is what I'm seeing there. And with that Queen of Wands energy, this can indicate that, you know, you are dedicating yourself to living a life of passion, that you are, you know, still adhering to your responsibilities, but you want more spontaneity in life. You know, you want the finer things in life. And I definitely see a glow up here. I definitely see here you being inspired, being a magnet for all that you want. Your manifestation is higher than usual at this moment in time. But also see here a life lived with passion, because of course the structure is that we get a job, that we settle down, that we do all these things, and you're like fine with that. I feel like you are someone who is embracing some of those things or already has, but there is this missing ingredient that perhaps you're searching for right now, and you're going to discover it, and it's like you being wild and free again, or rewilding yourself. You can still be connected to your partner and be independent and go off and do things for you and live your passions, and it'll give you a nice little spark in your relationship to basically explore different sides of self. You're still together, you still love each other. For some of you, it could also be that, you know, you can still be with your family and have responsibilities there, but you can also be independent, go off and do your own thing, you know, discover that inner artist or that inner free spirit that you have. So I'm just getting this energy of you kind of like reigniting that lust for life, and you are trying to be more open, and also be more open with people where you allow them to see the authentic you. Something is breaking down, some sort of structure, and you're like, you know what, this is me. Take me as I am, and you can't be anyone else, and that is your superpower. So I really feel a lot of you are stepping into your superpower right now there, and it can be that some of you have been soul searching for a while, or not been feeling, you know, your full self for a while, but that spark, it will be reignited, and it will lift the heaviness. You know, the Tower is the storm, okay? And what do storms do? They actually lift the heaviness. They take away the humidity. They take away the pressure. So it can be that right now you are removing something that causes you pressure, and you are lifting the storm, and you're going to feel free and lighter because of it. And things just get infinitely better because you took the power back, but also you decided to change something that has been playing out in your life for some time. Now, this reading is very complex, of course, so it may not resonate with everyone, but I have to honor what comes out there. But it says here, be ready to take on more responsibility. And I feel this is you taking on responsibility for your life, okay? It can be that you're going for something, applying for something, changing something, transforming or moving something in your life. And it will bring more responsibility because it means you have to step up. But it also indicates that taking leadership of your life, the universe supports that and actually wants to bring you more opportunity. So it says here, Moon Stag, be ready to take on more responsibility, authority, leadership, and support. And I definitely see that that's something that is happening across the board in your life, okay? You are not a secondary character in your life. You are the lead character. So this is about you leading in your life. We've also got Moonlight. Now, for some of you, this could be like taking a chance on a secondary opportunity. I mentioned like second streams of income, so it could be that. Moonlighting, for example, or, you know, taking a chance on something new. It does say here, take a chance on someone new. So because there's two people here in a relationship, you know, the Lover's card, it's like you can be in a relationship with this person or you can remain single. But if you're wondering, should you take a chance on someone new? The Tower is the leap of faith. It kind of like pushes you out of your comfort zone. It says, okay, you can remain how you are, going round circles in a nice comfortable structure, because the Tower, if you think about it, it's like a castle. It's a very nice place that has very tall brick walls where you're like, okay, I'm safe in here. But sometimes the safe route actually prevents growth. It actually becomes something that imprisons us. And it can be a structure that we feel comfortable with, like complacency. We can get stuck in a rut and say, you know what? I'm exhausted after work, so I'll sit on my sofa and I will try and unwind by watching something on TV, for example, or, you know, do something that I do pretty much every day. And occasionally I'm like, I'm fed up of this. I got to get out. I got to do something after work. I need to do something. So it can be something as simple as that, okay? But I feel like you're breaking cycles and trying something new. It doesn't always have to be a person, a new person that you are taking a chance on, but it can be, whether that's a friend, whether that's a lover, whether that's advice from somebody. Always do your due diligence, of course, but it says here, dating, flirt, first stages, and casual. So it can be that you're dipping your toe into something that perhaps you're launching. Again, it doesn't have to be something that's connected to love, but I feel the outcome is you're going to love it. Some of you could be partnering up with a social media platform, for example, in order to launch a business or try something new. Some of you could also be setting up a business with a person. A lot of you, looking at the energy, you could actually have a business partnership and decide to dissolve it in order to go solo. And this will actually bring in more opportunity, and you will be able to be more free in your expression to try new things. So please apply it to your situation. May not resonate with everyone, but I'm just feeling this restructure going on where you are almost like taking a vow of independence. Yes, you've got people who are around you and you love them dearly and you have responsibilities and duties to those people and those situations, but it's like, can you do something other that gives you this sense of freedom where you go off and have like your private side, or you do something that is bold and daring or creative in some way. And, you know, that Queen of Wands also indicates that you're inspired by your passions and you're living your best life. So I feel you're going to attract more opportunity the more you break through cycles of boredom or cycles of repeat. Okay, now I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a ring right now. Okay, so we have two buttons there. One is a treasure chest, so this definitely indicates more wealth or generational wealth there. Okay, for some of you, especially if you're that couple who's like moved into a home, there could be some sort of treasure buried in that attic or somewhere in the home, for example. But I feel this is about you also opening up more, because you are a treasure inside. You are a gift. So the more you share yourself with people, the more, of course, they will open up also. So it can be that your relationships will change. But most importantly, I feel this is about you feeling secure in your goals, your dreams, and your desires. You know, it's hard to live life with passion. It's hard to go after a dream when society says you should get this job, stay in that job. Job security is not something that is present anymore. It used to be, but now it's an ever-changing environment. So it can be that you're trying to find your way in an ever-changing environment right now, and you're trying to be flexible. That's why you're accessing different sides of yourself. The practical side, where you do what you got to do, where you're focused on your responsibilities and your home life. The dreamer part of yourself, where you're envisaging something new. You're very intuitive, and you know the universe is supporting you as you protect your dreams and your vision, and you're going after what it is that you want. And of course, the passionate side of yourself, where you are confident in your talents and skills, because you're a very talented and gifted person, and it can indicate that you know you are transforming your life, and you're going to attract more good things into your life by following your passions and you know doing things that you love. So I feel like you are actually going to create stability in your world. You got that anchor there. Anchor is all about safety, stability. So it's like creating a platform for you to feel secure so that you can follow your passions. But also this anchor can represent someone who has been feeling stuck, or that you've been drifting and you're searching for where you feel like you belong right now, whether that's in friendships, environments, or in a world that seems like it's gone a bit crazy right now. It can be like, wow, how did things change? How did things become a lot and so pressurized that it feels like there's never enough time in the day? But I feel it's important to recognize the anchor. It can be dropped at any moment, and you can stay a while in a place, or you can bring it up and remove yourself and get busy transforming. And because you have the Chariot card right there, it indicates that you're on the move. You're moving away from something that has been limiting or felt like you've been stuck in it for some time. And also, I mean, for some of you, this could literally be that you and your partner are thinking about completely transforming your life, that you want to be more nomadic, or that you want to move overseas, migrate a business. You know, maybe there's a talk about you, you know, bringing your family overseas, homeschooling, or doing something that is against the norm. It's not really against the norm, it's just the alternative. And I see a lot of you looking at the alternative right now. So that's what I've got coming through. May not resonate with everyone, but it's something that perhaps people have been thinking about on a majority scale right now, because I tap into the energy of the moment. So it can be that more Aquarians right now are thinking about these things. And, you know, maybe I tap into you tomorrow and you're thinking about a majority of other things that will come up in a reading. So please apply it to your situation. And I will leave it there because it was very complex and a lot of thoughts popping around. Maybe that's how you're feeling, that one thought leads to the next, and then you're like trying to quieten the inner critic, and you're trying to work out and prioritize what it is you need to be focusing on right now before you kind of like launch something or dip your toe into something. So that's coming out there as well. I also see like an important date where you will honor someone in spirit, lighting a candle for them. They're with you and they're sending you a lot of love. And I'm just being given like a magnifying glass. I feel it's like, I see you. I feel it's like that. That's what I'm being shown. But perhaps a magnifying glass is significant, or maybe it's going to be a sign or a symbol that you'll see a lot of over the next coming weeks and months, or in and around, an anniversary date of this person's passing. So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to move away from the energy, but I see so much unconditional love around that person in you, okay? So I'll leave it there. Also, if you'd like to be in with a chance to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is envisage the world in a golden healing light. That's all I ask of you. And in the comments below, once you've done that, just put an emoji of a world and a heart. And if you don't have access to emojis, then please just write the words world and heart, and I'll enter everyone into a competition, and I'll announce the winner next week, I think now, because it's coming to the end of this competition. So you still have time to enter if you haven't, or if you want to enter again, of course, please do, because the more chances you will have for me to see you and get round to the energy. I mean, it's all about energy, so my guides will bring me to an energy of a person, and I will be given a name of someone to win that competition. So I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, my beautiful Aquarians, and love and light.